What would it change for you if you knew how by changing one thing you could get all the money back for every single car you ever buy, drive, and own, including your dream car, like mine? Would that change it? Would you just go out and make it happen? I bet you would, because what risk would you have? None. So if you knew how to get all the money back for the cars you were going to buy, what car would be in your driveway? You can't have fun with a car like that until you actually figure out how to buy a car like that. So wouldn't you like to know how? It's so freaking simple. Let's start from the basics. That's the most important part. Let's start with how you typically buy a car, how most people buy a car. There are 4 ways you can buy a car. Number 1, you can pay cash for a car. You save up, in that case, that car is 75 grand. You save up 75 grand, you take the 75 grand, you give it to the seller gives you the keys, boom, you've got the car. We all know how to do that, but now $75,000 is sitting in a car that may or may not depreciate. 993s appreciate, but it might depreciate. So you run the risk. But that money can't work for you anymore because it's sitting in that tub of steel out there. Great. Number 2, you could finance the car. Well, that's what we're gonna talk about right here. So you could go to a bank and you could finance that $75,000 vehicle. And this is a little old back when I bought it, but a 5-year loan back then would cost about 6.8%, okay? Today, you're looking at 8%. Just saying, this was then and this is now. We gotta love these interest rate hikes, right? Which is a $1,478 a month payment. Now, some of you would just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I can afford $1,478 to buy the car. Now, do remember that car sits all winter. It doesn't go out in the rain. It doesn't go out in the snow. That car only gets driven on weekends and really nice days like what you saw this morning. So, do you really wanna spend $1,478 a month for a car that's gonna sit majority of the time? You're not gonna be enjoying it as much? I don't know. That's up to you. But you see, that isn't the problem. The problem is how much interest you pay over 60 months. You see, over 60 months, 5 years, you give away $13,681, and that was when it was 6.8%. That's how much money you're gonna pay over 5 years in interest to finance that car with a traditional bank. That car is gonna not cost you 75 grand, it's gonna cost you $88,681. How do you like those apples?
No.
All right, that's number 2. Number 3, you could lease a car. You certainly can't lease a 1997 993, but you could lease a brand new car, but we're not gonna talk about that for here. And, well, please don't steal my car, but you could steal the car. I mean, you could go out and find a 993 and you could steal it. So you could get ownership that way, and that's number 4. But I already talked about the main way people would buy this car, which is number 1 and number 2. Pay cash for it or finance it with a bank. So let's start with financing it with a bank. The downside is number 1, the payment sucks. Number 2, the interest that you give away. Because remember, this interest rate here is gone forever.
The money is gone. You can't get it back.
The bank keeps all of that, okay? That's all you need to know. So now, what if all I did is changed where the $75,000 goes first? Because let's assume we're gonna pay cash and we have this 75 grand and it's sitting in a bank account, okay? And then we're gonna pay for the car in cash. But what if all I do is I change where that 75,000 goes? I just put it in a different type of an account. And then once it hits that account, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that money and I'm gonna buy the car. Same thing, we're gonna pay cash for the car, but we're gonna mix number 1 and number 2 together. We're gonna pay cash, but we're also gonna finance the car.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I know this isn't making sense yet, but I promise you it will. You see, the place where I'm gonna put the $75,000 is not a traditional bank. It's not a money market account. Nope. You know what it is? It's a machine. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call that machine my private bank. Because, hey, listen, if the bank makes $13,681, man, I want that. I don't wanna give that away to the bank. I wanna be the bank. BYOB, you see it all the time. Be your own bank. Because if banks are lending money out and making $13,000 for buying a car like that, then, well, why don't I just become the bank and make $13,000? If you took that $13,681 and you earned 5% on that money, over 30 years, that $13,681, that opportunity lost would equal $61,307.69. I mean, look at this. That's the growth of that money. That's called compounding interest. You can't miss that. Nobody can miss that, but everybody is, because they're not understanding how money working for them is important. That's what I'm trying to show you. But again, we gotta change where that money goes first, and the machine that we're gonna put that money in does a couple cool things. It pays you guaranteed interest, but not just this year, not just next year, for the rest of your life. The interest rate you earn, and in this case, I'm gonna show you my exact policy that I paid for that Porsche from. This account paid a guaranteed interest rate of 3.25%. But not only that, this account pays me dividends every year. Every year. They've paid dividends for over 160 years consecutively. They've never missed one. And that dividend and the interest, if I combine them, 6%. That's how much this account pays me. Is your bank paying you that much? And even if your bank is paying you close to that much, will they be paying you that much next year, the year after when the Fed drops interest rates? The answer is no. Mine will, because my interest is contractually guaranteed. But again, maybe I don't even have your attention there, because you're like, well, my bank pays me 5 and you're only getting 6. We're close. I'm not going to go through the hassle. But what if my bank allowed my money to earn that interest and dividends tax-free? Does your bank allow you to do that? Nope. You got to pay tax every year. If the bank pays you 5.5% that your money's sitting in, every year you get a 1099. You got to pay tax on that. So are you really making 5.5, or whatever your bank account's paying? No. You're making the interest minus the taxes. You see, the money I'm making, no, there's no taxes. It's a tax-free environment. So all you need to know is you lost the opportunity cost. That $13,681, it's gone forever. It can never work for you again, so the opportunity for that money to earn for you is gone. And also the opportunity in the cash scenario of the $75,000, if you paid cash for the car, that's 75 grand. They can never earn another penny for you. You better hope that car goes up in value. But the coolest part is the next part, but I don't wanna let the cat out of the bag. Where is that little bugger? All right, so remember, all I said you need to do is change one thing, and that's where your savings goes first. So we're talking about $75,000. That machine that I'm talking about is nothing other than a specially designed and engineered whole life insurance policy from a mutually owned company that pays dividends. Remember I said you get dividends, and remember how I said that they've never ever not paid dividends, not once? Well, that's what we're gonna do. And I'm literally gonna show you my policy. Gotta cover my little policy number there, but here it is. Now, we no longer use MassMutual, but this policy, I started this policy 10/1 of 2020. So right now, this thing is 3 years old. Not bad. And I put $7,589.42 quarterly into it, which is about 30,000 bucks a year. But you see, where this policy differs from a bank account is what I'm gonna show you next. You see, I got 75 grand in. Actually, I've got about $87,733 in there. 30 grand a year. And I've had it for 3 years, so that's how much cash value I have, is 87,000. And if I kick the bag tomorrow and I die, my family gets $903,399. So if I die tomorrow driving that awesome race car out there, that's what my daughter calls it, then $903,000 gets paid to my family tax-free. So your bank account, sorry, isn't paying a death benefit to your family. But here's the real important part. You see, when I put 75 grand in this specially designed whole life, I have the ability to take that money out anytime. And well, you saw, I did. I bought a car, a Porsche, that I would have normally financed for $1,478 a month, and I normally would have given interest of $13,681 away. But you see, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the bank. Instead of me going to somebody else's bank and paying somebody else's bank, I'm literally gonna mimic what a bank does. Because, well, I've got the money in my bank. Now, you're all thinking, it's not a bank, it's a specially designed whole life. Yeah, but think as if it's a bank. To me, this and all my other policies make up my private banking system. You can call it whatever you want. To me, and nobody can change my mind, this is my private banking system. And I'm gonna show you why I think that way. Because you see, when I wanted to buy this car, and I bought it on BringATrailer, if any of you have not tried BringATrailer.com, I don't get paid for them. I should get paid for this commercial, but it is the most addicting, fun auction site for cars. I'm just gonna warn you, if you go on there, you will get addicted. And don't try suing me, or don't try calling and blaming me when you buy a car that you didn't actually want because you got so wrapped up in it. But BringATrailer is where this car came from. So when I got the car, what I did is I went to my bank and I took a loan. Okay, I took a loan for $75,000. Now you're probably all thinking, well, wait a second, isn't it your money? Yeah, no, I saved that money up, remember? $7,589 a quarter, which is a little over $30,000 a year, about $30,300. Yeah, I saved that money up. So you're probably thinking, well, why would you take a loan? Think as if I'm the bank. Have you ever gone into the bank and gotten money from the bank without taking a loan? No. I mean, maybe you took a withdrawal from your bank account, but you see, when you took a withdrawal from your bank account, let's just forget that this is a loan. Let's just say this is your bank account and you take $75,000 out. And listen, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll assume that your bank account's paying you the same as my policy is paying me, 6%. So you take a loan for 75 grand. Riddle me this. How much is your bank paying you after you take the $75,000 out? Are you confused with the question? It's actually quite simple. You started with 75 grand. You took a withdrawal for 75 grand to buy the car. How much money is left in your account that the bank is paying you interest on? Zero, right? 75 minus 75, zero. The bank's not paying you interest. You see, this policy, when I take 75,000 as a loan, this policy pays me interest and dividends on 75 grand. Yeah, oh yeah, they do, yeah. You see, the 75 grand that I used to buy the car, that didn't come from my account. My account just served as collateral. So out of my cash value, which is $87,733 as of 10/1 of 2023, okay, that's the most current statement right here. If I take 75 grand from that, I'm still making interest and dividends on $87,733. Here's why. The insurance company in the contract agrees and tells me at any time, remember I said the death benefit on my policy is about $903,000. This is my death benefit. But I gotta die to get that, right? Yeah, I gotta die to get that 903, but I don't get it, my family does. But you see, the insurance company allows me to tap into this $903,000 up to the amount of cash value that I have as collateral. So if I've got $87,733 in cash value, the insurance company will allow me to take $87,000 of the $903 that's a death benefit. And when they do give me that $75,000 of the death benefit, all they're gonna do is in a computer, they're gonna say, okay, Chris took $75,000 of his death benefit, so we're gonna subtract the $75,000 from the $903,000, and if he dies tomorrow, we're just gonna pay the balance. Simple. The insurance company gives me the 75 grand. My money in the cash value collateralizes that 75 grand, and the insurance company charges me, I think it's 5% now. The cool part about that is the insurance company is paying me on all the money that's in there, and all the money is compounding year after year, and all they're charging me is 5% simple. So effectively, well, actually, hold on a second. How does your bank make money? No, the one that you give your money to every paycheck, how does that bank make money? You give them your money, you take the money that you want to deposit. So let's just use 75 grand. You take 75 grand and you give it to your bank. What does the bank give you? They pay you an interest rate, right? So end of the year, you give them 75 grand, they give you $100. I'm just kidding, it might be a little more than that now, but they give you a little interest, of which they tax you on. But how does the bank make money on that? So if they're paying you 5% on the money, And I just told you that to get a used car loan, you're at about 8% now. What is 8 minus 5? Isn't that 3%? The bank is making a spread. The bank's making 3%, right? So what am I doing here? Am I not earning more than what I'm paying? Of course. I'm making a spread as well. Hence, I'm doing the exact same thing the bank does. Same exact thing. I'm being the bank. Okay? So now the 75 grand goes into a bank account. We call it a segregated account. And then I write a check for the car. So I've now bought the car. And the money came from my policy. Everybody's tracking with me right now. But you see, there's an additional step. A lot of people want to stop here.
I'm rich now.
But what you would be doing if you stopped here is you'd be stealing from your bank. Because if this is your banking system, this policy, and you take a loan from your banking system for $75,000, and you never pay that loan back, you never make any payments back to your policy, aren't you effectively stealing from your bank? So let me get this straight. If you're going to steal from your bank, so you must steal from regular banks too. Because if you're willing to steal from your bank with your name on it, like, hey, listen, folks, my name's right there on this. That's my name, Christopher Naugle. So effectively, my name's on my bank. I wouldn't steal from my bank because I know that if I went to Bank of America or Wells Fargo and they gave me a loan and I never paid them on the loan, they'd take my car. But if I went into Wells Fargo and I stole 75 grand, well, then I'm gonna go to jail, right? So you understand, like, I wouldn't steal from a traditional bank, so why would I ever steal from my bank? Should it be any different? No. So here's what I did, okay? I went on to bankrate.com. They should pay me too for this, so a little pause real quick. Seeing as though bankrate.com and BringATrailer are not paying me, I gotta somehow make some money here, so I'd love to ask you for a favor. That's right. Right now, see that little subscribe thing? This doesn't even cost you anything, but this is kind of fun for me. See that little button right there? It says subscribe. Click that. And then there's a little bell right up top. Smash that bell. Ooh. You all right? So I go to bankrate.com and I just look at the numbers. I say, all right, a $75,000 loan at 60 months at 6.5 or 6.8%. My payment's $1,478. Of which the principal paid is 75 grand after 60 months, and I give their bank $13,681. You guys see that? Okay. So we already have the numbers. The traditional bank already told us the formula. So I'm being the bank, so if that Porsche is gonna cost me 75 grand and the monthly payment's gonna be $1,478, well, here's what I do. I make a monthly payment. Okay, it is a loan repayment. I make a loan repayment from my main bank account where my income goes, and I take that $1,478 and I put it in that segregated account, and then I just send it back over to the specially designed whole life. I'm doing the same thing I would have normally done, except for I'm paying myself back. But here's the freaking cool part. There's a couple cool parts, so stay with me, folks. This $1,478 a month that I'm paying for that Porsche, that monthly payment that I'm paying back to my policy, how much money after month one do I have in my policy? Like, well, forget about how much money I have, but how much money after I make the payment do I have to use? Well, I have $1,478. Why? Well, because if I pay my policy back $1,478, how it works is I had a $75,000 loan. Okay, so when I took the loan, it came from my death benefit, but my money, $75,000 of my cash value, collateralized that loan. So now, in the first month, if I make a payment of $1,478, and I do this every month, just grab a calculator. Here, I'll just do it for you. So we just grab a calculator and we just go, all righty, 75 grand was the loan, minus 1,478. So 73,522 is the balance, which means after 1 month, I'm paying interest. Remember I said the interest from the insurance company was simple interest of 5%. I'm paying 5% interest, not on 75 grand anymore. I'm paying 5% interest on 73,522. And then after another month, I make another payment, 1,478, reducing it down again. And each time I make a payment, I reduce the balance of the loan, which means I'm paying less in interest. So am I really paying 5%? Is this really the interest I'm paying if I do this? Let me show you what that means by you're not actually paying 5%. Check this out. First off, We borrowed $75,000 from the policy, of which we made $1,478 a month payments back, just like we would have paid the bank, which is $17,736, shown in column E there. Because we're paying principal down, column G shows you the principal balance going down every year for 5 years. You already know how this works with a bank, but see, go over to column O. That's the interest rate you're actually paying to the insurance company. I know it's a stated 5%, but because we're paying the balance down every year by being an honest banker, we're only paying the insurance company 3.82 in the first year, 2.64 in the second, 1.45 in the third, and 0.27 in the fourth. And in the fifth year, the loan's paid off, all shown in column O. That's what we're making. So we're not making the spread that you thought, we're making far more. Go to Bank of America, take a $75,000 loan for that Porsche 993, okay? Make one payment, and then call up that bank, call up Wells Fargo, Bank of America, whoever it is, and say, hey, listen, I just made a payment, on that Porsche 993. Yeah, I love the car. No, it's awesome. I almost wrecked it the other day. I went around this little S-turn. Oh, you don't care, okay. Anyway, so I just made that $1,478 payment. I was just wondering, can I come withdraw that money from the bank? Like, I made the payment, I want to use that money again. What do you mean I can't? Yeah, I know it was a loan repayment. Yeah, no, but I'd like to use it. You gave me a $75,000 loan. I paid back $1,478, and I need that $1,478 back. No? Okay. That's not how it works. Well, I just saw this guy, Chris Naugle, on a YouTube video, and he said when you become your own bank, the $1,478 payment you make, you have access to that money. What the hell? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I made the payment to somebody else's bank. All right, well, thanks. Sorry for the error, but yes, I'm enjoying the car. Goodbye. You get it, folks? I know that's stupid, but when you make a $1,478 monthly payment back to your policy, that $1,478 is available the next day. You can't do that anywhere else. But here, we're missing some things. We're missing the fact that the interest you're paying to the insurance company isn't really, it is 5%, but because you're paying the balance down, it's actually averaged out to be lower. Okay, so that's cool, right? Oh, and we also determined on this side, we're making a spread, because if they did charge us 5 and we made 6, so we'll just call that spread number 1. Okay, so we made a spread, which, remember I told you, this is how traditional banks make money. Now are you getting it? Are you just seeing what I'm talking about? This is why it's not a whole life to me. It's my private banking system, because I'm doing everything a bank does. I literally am. But I'm getting a lot more than any other bank would ever give me, because I'm the bank. My name's on the bank. My name's right there on the bank. But hold on, it gets even better. So we made a spread one time, but hold on, wait. The insurance company allowed us to use the money at 5%, but hold on a second. Wait, if I'm not mistaken, the bank was gonna charge me 6.8. If you go to the bank today, it's 8, but we'll just use 6.8. So hold on a second. 6.8, listen, math wasn't my strong suit, minus the 5 I gotta give the insurance company. 6.8 minus 5, 1.8%. I knew that. Just making sure you guys knew how to figure that math out. So is 1.8 spread number 2? Whoa. Yes, it is. I just made money twice on the same dollars. How do you do that? You see, because I became the bank with just buying this Porsche, because I make payments back to my bank, I made money twice, but God, it even gets better. It even gets better, because you know what? Every one of these monthly payments I make reduces the loan balance, which allows that money to be available, but also reduces the monthly payment. But wait, you don't forget, my money never stopped compounding at 6%. You see, I don't just have $87,970. I have more than that, because my money's been compounding. Let me show you. But before I do that, do you see what we just did? Because we became the bank, we changed where our money was going first. And then we treated our money the same way we would treat any other bank's money. We made monthly payments, the same monthly payments we'd give to a traditional bank. We made them back to our bank, the policy. And those were loan repayments. Remember that calculator I showed you? It reduces the interest we pay. So this is how you get all the money back for every single car you ever buy, drive, and own. But not only that, You make money buying cars. Oh my gosh. You make money on every single car you buy, and all you did is change one thing and add one step. The rest was just mathematics. Let me show you the exact numbers from my exact policy I used to buy this Porsche, and this will just bring it all together. So you probably had that aha moment by changing one thing and adding that one step, the circle, which is called infinite banking concepts. You saw how you can get all the money back for every car you buy, drive, and own, like I did with this Porsche. But now, I want to show you the numbers. I want to show you the numbers right from my policy. So here it is, and I'm going to go quick with this, but this shows the impact of using a whole life policy versus a traditional bank or any other method. This is my policy. Every year I put $30,000 in premium deposits into it. It's 3 years old as of when I bought this car. So if we take the years 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is how old I'll be when this car's paid off. I'll be 50 years old. I'm 46 today. And these are the policy years that we're gonna go with. Year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like any other car loan that's 5 years, this is a 5-year loan. But remember, I'm the bank. And I'm treating my money just like I would treat the bank's money. I'm making monthly payments every single month, the exact same amount I would pay to the bank, $1,478 a month. Still making that check, but that check is being paid back to my policy as a loan repayment as I showed. But every month I have $1,478 available in my policy. If needed, I can use that money. That can't happen in any other vehicle. But let's look at the impact. So I'm 46 now. This is the first year when I bought the car. I had $87,970 in this policy. From year 2 to year 3, the policy grew by $30,896, which means I made $896 that year. That's my cash on cash net return, net of cost of insurance, net of policy service fees, net of commissions. I made 2.99%. Now that's nothing to write home about, but I also have over $800,000 in death benefit that if something should happen in that car, my family gets that money. But here's the thing. The insurance company's loan balance, because we're being an honest banker and we're paying $1,478 back every single month, this is the impact. The loan balance is $57,264. Now earlier I mentioned we make money twice. We make a spread 1 and a spread 2. But we're just gonna focus on spread 2. How much did I make? Well, you take 6.8%, which is the amount that I calculated the loan at, because that's how much I would have paid a traditional bank, minus the 5% that I have to pay to the insurance company. This is spread number 2. The first year, I made an additional $1,433. That's money almost out of thin air, money that you would have given away any other time. Let's keep going, because it just gets better and better. Because remember, the cash value in your policy is compounding and going up. The loan balance is continuing to go down because you're recycling and recapturing that $1,478 every single month. And you're making a spread there, and your policy cash value is going up. So here's the policy cash value in years 3 to 4. I have $119,681. If we subtract $119,686 minus the $87,970 from year 3, so all we're doing is subtracting year 4 from year 3, I have a cash value growth of $31,716, which means I made $1,716. If I take $1,716, just like I did the $896, divide that into the $30,000 in premium I put into the policy, my cash on cash return is 5.72 net. So this is the point where how much did I make? I made 72 bips. You can see now spread number 1 is 72 bips. Spread number 2, I made $1,234. The difference between the 6.8 and the 5. You see what's happening? And also, I want to just show you back to this screen here. This screen right here shows the impact on the loan being paid down to the insurance company. We're not paying the insurance company an effective interest rate of 5. We're actually giving them in the first year right around 4.7, and it goes down every month. Check this out. Just look at it. Every month you're going down. It's going down, down, and down because we're paying interest on a declining balance. Let's keep going. Year 4 to 5. We go from 119 to 152. How much money did I put in? 30. How much did it grow by? 33.28. I made $3,028. That's a 10.09% cash on cash return. 10.09 minus 5 is what? 5.09% spread. Plus, my loan balance is now paid down to $27,608. Remember that spreadsheet, $27,608. That's how much interest I'm being charged on by the insurance company, which means in the third year, my spread is $1,017. I effectively made money twice now for 2 years. And every year I do this, year 5 to 6, I made $31,937. That's $1,937 more than my costs in the policy. I netted that amount. That's 6.45%. My loan balance to the insurance company is only $11,659. By the way, every time I'm paying the loan balance down by $1,478, that $1,478 is going back in my policy. That's money I can use. I made $768, the fourth year spread. Now you see that this is going down. It's going down because the balance is going down, okay? Final year. And by the way, because I'm paying 6.8% on a 5% loan, it doesn't take me 60 months to pay this car off and get all the money back. It only took me 57 months, 4 years and 9 months. So here it is, years 6 to 7. I put $30,000 in. My policy grew by $33,609. I made $3,609 net. That's a 12.03% return. And how much is that? Well, 5 minus 12.03 is 7.03%. Spread 1. I made $5,088 because I paid for the full 60 months. So I actually made an additional $5,088. That's $437. The total amount of spread number 2 is $4,889. That's just the impact of you being the bank. Add this up, folks. How much money did you make here in year over year cash on cash growth? Even though this money doesn't even have to be in the policy, it can be out working for you somewhere else. And then how much money did you make over here? The spread from what the bank would have charged to what the insurance company charged. You were an honest banker. You paid yourself back. Therefore, you made another $4,889. So if you were to take your calculator and add up all of the net amount you made on the policy, and you were to calculate the net amount that you put in your pocket from the spread number 2, how much did you actually make for buying this Porsche? Actually, how much money did I make for buying this Porsche? See, this is why you got to do this. $11,186 here, plus $4,889 there. I made $16,075 plus I got all the money back for the car. All $75,000 is in my policy. Plus, I made $16,075. Come on now, shut the door. Actually, open the door to whatever car it is you want to buy and change where your money goes first. Apply the infinite banking concept, and this will be your story. You will be doing this. The student will become the teacher. Man, I just showed you the secret sauce. I literally just showed you the magic formula of how your money multiplies. Did I mention that our company's name is the Money Multiplier? And what we teach is becoming your own banker? Yeah, okay, well, shameless plug. But actually, another shameless plug, hit that subscribe button and right above, smash that bell so you're notified every time I put a new video out. And folks, listen, go out there and live your dream. Get that dream car. Because now you know how to get all the money back. So why would you wait? What car are you gonna go buy next? Well, now that you know how to get all the money back, put that in the comments. I'd love to hear it. See you soon. Oh, I forgot. Hey, if you could you click the subscribe button and also smash the bell up top? See you later.